Hey everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is the Silver and Blue YouTube channel, and this is where we're going to be talking about anything Dallas Cowboys. When the season comes, we're going to be talking about each game and breaking it down. But today, this video is going to exist because we are going to break down the new NFL schedule that just released a few minutes ago. Just a few minutes ago, and I took a moment to go through each game and make my prediction and each breakdown, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to see where our Dallas Cowboys end up. Are they going to end up back in the playoffs? Or are we going to struggle like we have the past few seasons? So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to break down each of these games. As you guys know, a new schedule, a new game has been added to this. So instead of looking at a 16-game schedule, we're looking at 17 games. If you've already seen it before, you know that we're going to open up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That has Tom Brady and all their starters returning from their Super Bowl winning run that they had last season. Straightforward, we're going to lose this game. It's pretty obvious that we're going to lose this game. Main reason why, if you want to argue with me about this one, is they still have their team together. They have the winning formula still on the field. We're still figuring things out since 1996. So going into this game, I'm going to be super surprised. I would be pleasantly surprised if we won this game, to be honest, but I just don't see it. I think we're still going to be figuring out a lot of things with Dak Prescott back in the offense. So I'm looking at this first game. They have it figured out. We're still going to be figuring out. With that being said, we move on to week 2. We do not go home just yet, which is actually kind of surprising. We have to wait until week 3, and I'll get back to that here in just a little bit. But week 2, we go up against the Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert. We play Justin Herbert at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Now, I'm looking at this game. I really think one of our strengths going into the season will be Dan Quinn and his defensive scheme and how he works our players, especially with Micah Parsons and Jabril Cox coming into the linebacker core. I still think our defensive line needs a little bit of work. I'm going to come back to that as we're going through this season prediction video, but I see us going to Los Angeles, and I see us being very successful against a second-year quarterback. Maybe it's a sophomore slump, but I think we have the upper hand with a very skilled defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. I think he's going to have his guys ready for this one. I think we're going to be able to take care of a second-year player such as Justin Herbert. So I got that in the win column. Right now, we're standing at 1-1 at 500, and that's where we finally get to go home. Monday, September 27th, Monday Night Football prime time. It's the return of Dak Prescott back in AT&T Stadium. That will be a great moment. I'm calling it right now. The moment Dak Prescott jumps on that field, that stadium's going to be incredible. It's the first time the fans are going to be back in Arlington and back in AT&T Stadium. Jerry Jones already said, hey, I already expect my stadium to be full when the time comes, when the season is right around the corner. And that's going to be an awesome moment. I'm just going to embrace that, and you should too. Dak Prescott, after his injury, comes back, and this is the homecoming party. We've seen a lot of big occasions like that be spoiled, but I do believe this is our first division game of the year, and I think we're going to handle this one pretty well. I think we're going to be able to handle Jalen Hurts, even with his new offensive weapon, Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner. I still do believe we're going to be able to take care of business on Monday Night Football, and it's always going to be a good game when it comes to the Eagles and the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. I believe this is the first time they are meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I do believe it's the first time they're meeting since that awesome shootout in Monday Night Football against Romo and McNabb where they just went off. So at this moment, after Monday Night Football, I got Dak's homecoming being a win. I got it at 2-1. Next, we're back to Sunday. The early game, we're playing against the Carolina Panthers at home. They recently acquired Sam Darnold. They have Christian McCaffrey. But the biggest story is their defense. I don't think their defense is going to be well enough to stop our offense. One of our biggest strengths this year is hands down our offense. I think the Carolina Panthers are taken care of. I think we win this game. I think we go to 3-1. We have a really good start to the season, and then we go to week 5. This is our second division game. We're playing the New York Giants. The biggest, I believe, factor in this is that it's at home. I do believe we're a really good home team. I think we play really well, and we're a lot more comfortable when we're at home. I think it's when we get on the road, this team under Mike McCarthy still has yet to prove exactly what we can do on the road. But at home, this is a afternoon game. I'm going to say that we win this one. I really do. I know Daniel Jones has some weapons added, and I think they actually really do have a solid defense. But right now, I do believe that we're going to beat the New York Giants in Week 5, and I do see us going to 4-1. Next week, we go to the New England Patriots. We go to Gillette Stadium, and we play Cam Newton, or whoever the quarterback's going to be at that point, Mac Jones or Cam Newton. Regardless, I think we win this game. I think we're a really well-prepared team, and I think at that point, according to my prediction, we're on a run here. You know, we're 4 games in on a 4-game winning streak early in the season. You look at this football team, we do really well in September and October, and sometimes November. It's where we get into December, that's where my predictions kind of could sway back and forth. But I do believe we go to Gillette Stadium and we take care of this. Whoever it is, whether it's Cam Newton or Mac Jones, I think our defense is going to be well prepared with Dan Quinn for that. So I'm not really worried about that one. I think, and then we get to Week 7, which is our bye week, which is an okay place to have a bye week. At that point with the bye week, we're about 6 games in, and then after those 6 games, we have 11 games. So would I prefer maybe a week down the road, the bye week to be placed? Of course, but going into the bye week, I have our record at 5-1, which is not bad. Of course, it's early in the season, so 5-1. Anyways, we come back from the bye week. We have one of our first primetime games since the season opener. We play against the Minnesota Vikings. We play at Minnesota. And so, this is another game that we had early this year. I think a lot of Cowboy fans are going to approach this game and say, hey, we beat the Vikings last year with only Andy Dalton. So now we're probably going to have Dak Prescott in this game and we're going to win. Well, I don't know about that because we had Dak Prescott the year before the year prior that just happened, and we lost that game. We had a slow start. It was exciting towards the end, but we still lost that. Again, that was at home. But I'm looking at this. I don't think the Minnesota Vikings really improved in the offseason. Their draft class wasn't really impressive by all means. And so, I could see this going back and forth. But with the way that we're playing, according to my predictions, we're on a run. We're on a 5-game winning streak. I'm saying, hey, we're going to beat the Minnesota Vikings on primetime football, and we go to 6-1. Then we go to Week 9. We're back home at AT&T Stadium. We're playing the Denver Broncos. Drew Lock's their quarterback. We go against their secondary, which is very, very impressive. Remember, they stole Patrick Surtain from us in the draft, and they have an impressive secondary. It's going to really depend on how we handle Von Miller. Regardless, we do beat the Broncos. I believe in Week 9 we advance to 7-1. You can see we kind of got us on a hot streak here. We play Atlanta at AT&T Stadium. Last year was very fun. That was a great win. Coach Mike McCarthy's first win as a Dallas Cowboy head coach. I have some good feeling and some good mojo that Dan Quinn and our ball club gets this win for him. And so for that reason, I think we're at 8-1. I think we take on the Atlanta Falcons and we win this game. It's going to be a very close game, and I think it's going to be a true testament to how well our offense can stop a huge weapon like Matt Ryan. Again, I think this is one of them that I'm kind of on the fence with because I can see Matt Ryan having a tremendous season with them, with Atlanta trying to still believing him and putting offensive weapons around him. That's going to be an interesting game. We'll see how that goes. But now we come to a Sunday afternoon game, a game that all fans are going to be excited to watch and see exactly what's going to happen. It's the 2 highest paid quarterbacks in the league is Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott. We're going to Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. And so this game's going to be fairly interesting. However, again, it's going to be based on health, where we are in the season, and exactly how well is our defense playing. Regardless, I think we lose this game. I think Patrick Mahomes against our secondary, our young secondary, is just going to be too much. And so that's going to be our first loss in a while. I got us at 8-2, and we're coming up on Thanksgiving. And so this is where it's going to get really interesting. As you all know, Thanksgiving and the games following can really judge a season. So we may be 8-2 at this point. This is where the real season begins for us, and this is where our focus has to be, because it has been, the years prior. And so we're going to go up against the Las Vegas Raiders. They are a tough football team, and they are well coached by John Gruden. For that reason, I'm going to say we fall into a losing streak. I think we lose back-to-back games against the AFC West. I don't see us playing well against the Las Vegas Raiders. So I think we go down to 8-3. Then we go to Thursday Night Football. We play a week after that, and we're going to be playing the New Orleans Saints. Remember, they don't have Drew Brees, but they still have Sean Payton. But here I think we lose this game. I think we are the better team, like we have been years past. But I think this one, we do lose this game. Not because we're the worst team, like I said, but because we're on a losing streak here. We just lost to the Chiefs. We just lost to the Raiders. And I don't think we bounce back just yet. So I think we lose against Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints down in New Orleans. We drop to 8-4. So now this is where things get really interesting. We're in the final 5 games of the season. Guess what? Final 5 games of the season, 4 of them are division opponents. And so for the first time throughout the whole season, we are meeting the Washington football team. The Washington football team, don't dismiss them. This team is the worst team for, in my opinion, for us. And the reason why is it comes down to offensive and defensive line. Their defensive line, and it depends on their health at that moment, but if they have all 4 of those first rounders on that defensive line, and if we're not at full strength and if we're not at full health, that will give us issues, and that will ruin Dak Prescott's day and his ability to throw the ball and our ability to run. When we can't do either of those things, it's a dangerous game, and we make turnovers and we end up losing. But I think we lose that game in week 14 and we drop down to 8-5. Yes, I have us at a 4-game losing streak, but I do have us winning the week after when we play the New York Giants. That is a noon game, and so we go up to 8-6. I think we sweep the New York Giants this year, and then we come back to the Washington football team, primetime football, at Arlington at AT&T Stadium, and that's where I'm going to say we win that game. I feel really good about that game, especially towards the end of the season. I think we win 9-6. Now we have the 2 final games. We're going to play the Arizona Cardinals here at AT&T Stadium. I just never like our odds against quarterbacks that are mobile, specifically someone like Kyler Murray, and so I don't see us winning that game at all. I think we drop something like that, 9-7, and then we end the year in Philadelphia against the Eagles. It's really going to be interesting to see where their team is at this point. This game is a toss-up, and so I originally marked this as a loss, but I'm actually going to change it right now in the making of this video. I actually think we win this game to close out the year to seal a division title. And so that is my prediction, that we do end the year with no wild card, but with the division win. We have a lot of young talent in the NFC East, and so the Philadelphia Eagles could be right there, and we could actually be playing them in the wild card. Back-to-back games with the season finale and the wild card. And so with that being said, I do think we clinched the division. I do believe we are at 10-8. We do have a positive record. We are in the plus column. And so thank you again for sticking around for this long video, but I'm excited for this football team and to see exactly where it goes. I'm excited to see how Dak Prescott reacts and how he bounces back, and I'm really particularly interested to see where the health goes. I'm excited to see the defense as well, to see exactly what happens there and see if we can at least get a top 20 defense, top 15 defense. And so let's go Cowboys, and let's see how the season pans out, and I'll be back with another video as the season gets a little bit closer. But go ahead and comment and share what you think. What do you think our prediction will be? What do you think our strengths and weaknesses are? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe for more Cowboys content.